Everybody noticed you at the demonstration, Uncle Jack.
Thank you, Helen. Ah, here's a parking space.
Oh, no!
God, right twit! Why don't you watch where you're going, you penguin?
Now, look here. I'm awfully sorry, but I was here first.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Put 'em up.
Well, actually, that's a bit difficult.
Dad, we said we wouldn't draw attention to ourselves. Don't fight with a penguin. Mommy!
Uncle Jack, what have you done?
Me? I haven't done anything.
Then why are we running?
In case someone thinks I have.
Do you think you're wearing the right clothes to visit a museum, Uncle Jack?
Well, I haven't had time to change since the demonstration.
G'day, mate. Got any sticky tapes?
Oh, come on, Dad. Let's get inside.
What for?
Culture, you dark wombat.
And I've got to get some information from in there.
It's about our trip to Egypt.
Partly. Now listen, this is a very civilized place, so you've got to act in a highly respectable and responsible manner. And they don't like a lot of noise.
Remember the reputation of the school.
Freeze! One false move and you get this.
What do I want with that?
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, it's a raid!
Where? Ah!
Call the police. This man is a robber.
No, he isn't. He's my uncle.
What?
I can assure you.
What are you doing in that disguise if you're not up to no good?
He's demonstrating. Penguins.
You mean he sells penguins?
Oh, thank you, Helen. I shall explain. The fact is...
Are these your children?
Certainly not.
They're mine.
Well, keep them under control, or else. Now, how may I help you?
I'm flying to Egypt tomorrow.
Won't your arms get rather tired?
By aeroplane. And a friend of mine who's out there wants me to bring her some information about ancient Egyptian wheat.
2 people over there have just taken all the books on ancient Egypt.
Oh, have they? Excuse me.
Put 'em up, mate. You're an endangered species.
Now listen, you cork-headed clot.
Oh, sit down, Dad.
Remember, Uncle Jack, good behaviour.
No, I only want to borrow this book, Ancient Cereals.
Yeah. Well, if it's early Grange Hill you're after, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Not that kind of cereal, you flipper! Oh, well, I've got the bit I want.
Uncle Jack, that was a rare book.
Well, it's even rarer now.
You'll have to pay for it.
Oh, very well.
Well, I'll be.
You'll be what, my possum?
Oh, look, Dad. It's her.
Who?
That kid with Birdman. Listen, Helen Brimley, winner of the Junior
Archaeologist.
of the year competition. Helen's prize is 2 weeks with Sir Humphrey Morton and his team at their latest dig at the tombs of El Ninny. Helen travels out Thursday 22nd.
Hey, that's where we're going. So why does he say he's looking up wheat, my little glass of amber nectar?
Because he's pulling the sheep over your eyes, you wet wallaby. Quick, we've got to get our skates on.
Right. Ice skates or roller skates?
Come on!
What's the big hurry?
Because according to this paper, that bloke and that kid are flying out to El Ninny tomorrow morning.
Well, he's got the right clobber.
Which means we've got to fly out there tonight. They're obviously after what we're after.
What are we after?
When they uncovered the great tombs of Ramesses, what did they find? Treasure.
Treasure?
When they uncovered the great tombs of Tutankhamun, what did they find? Treasure.
Treasure?
Now they've uncovered the tombs of El Ninny, what will they find?
Gives a clue.
Every time they uncover a tomb, they find treasure worth millions. We are going to get our hands on it and be the ones to sell it.
The treasure of old Ninny! We're coming for you!
£2.50. So much for rare books.
I don't see why you're so interested in wheat.
I'm not, but a friend of mine called Professor Imogen Pratt is.
That's an unusual name.
She's an unusual woman. She's found some wheat out there which is 2,000 years old, and she's going to try to make some bread from it.
Remind me not to eat her sandwiches.
Excuse me, could I take a copy of this page here?
Only official staff are allowed to use the photocopier.
It's for research.
Some people have no idea how much work we already have round here. Get away from that photocopier! How many copies do you want?
Just one, thank you. Miss Helen Brimley, and I'm her Uncle Jack Green. Oh, I'm so sorry. There was a guarantee with this pen, too.
Jack!
Imogen!
Lovely to see you.
Now, this is my niece Helen. Helen, Professor Imogen Pratt.
Hello.
Hello, and congratulations on your prize and welcome to El Ninny.
Thank you.
Have you got the research material for me?
I have indeed. English wheat.
Any trouble getting through customs?
No. I gave them time to experiment with some
And?
of it. Well, they made a batch loaf and a couple of crusty rolls.
Excellent. And I can compare it with this stuff. I've just ridden up from the dig with it.
What, on a camel?
They're on a bicycle. There was an enterprising chap hiring them out. There, he's just behind me. Oh, here he is now.
Good Lord! Jose Cuervo!
Know one another. What an extraordinary small world.
Green! Listen, I ain't done nothing. No. Those camel's pits they found in the sausages.
Sausages?
Not the sausages. Well, look, that pyramid. They went for a walk, really.
Mr. Cuervo, I am not here to accuse you of anything. I'm here to look after my niece Helen.
Hello.
Arrivederci. Any friend of Jack's is a big...
It's a joke. I got it at the airport.
Yes, and you can throw it away now. Mr. Cuervo, I'm sorry about that. Helen is here for 2 weeks to work at the dig at El Ninny.
Yes, I won the chance in a competition. I'm to work with Sir Humphrey Morton.
Well, you won't get much of a chance at that, I'm afraid. Sir Humphrey's disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes, 2 days ago.
But he can't have.
Oh, Helen, I shouldn't worry. You know, these archaeologist types are like absent-minded. I expect he's gone off somewhere to dig up something else.
Yes, I expect he'll turn up eventually. Anyway, I must get on with testing this week. I know. Would you like to come and watch me?
Thank you, Professor.
All right, come on then. See you later, Jack.
This business of Sir Humphrey Morton disappearing.
Don't worry.
I do worry. I'm responsible for Helen. I can't let her work with an archaeologist who's disappeared. No, the sooner I find out who's in charge of the dig now, the better.
The people who's in charge of the dig now are staying at the Camel's Breath Hotel on the other side of town.
How can I get there?
Well, you need a guide. Very expensive.
And where will I find one of those?
You just saved yourself £100.
Get away.
Right.
Miss Greco, what do you think you're doing? Holding up that wall?
Actually,
Come and dig at once.
but
At once.
I did try and warn you, sir.
Dig!
Sir? Sir? Please don't think me an utter fool.
Oh, never, Miss Greco, never.
Thank you, sir. But what exactly are we digging for? bless you, sir. It must be all this desert dust.
Oh, no. You know exactly why we're here. We were sent by the government to excavate the tomb of El Wadi Want. This is his tomb. He was the keeper of Queen Cleopatra's treasure. And with him, possibly, there may lie buried
Cleopatra's treasure.
Exactly, so dig away.
Oh, gosh, Cleopatra's treasure. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if we found it? I'm sure she had lovely earrings and necklaces and baubles and bangles and things. Sir, I found something.
Hola. What do you suppose that means, Miss Greco?
Well, it's Spanish for hello. I heard it on El Dorado.
No, it's Latin. Latin for... Well, there are a great many words in Latin that end in ola, but do you realize this could have been held in the hands of Julius Caesar himself? It's a priceless Roman remain.
Sir, what exactly do you think it was used for?
It looks like a container for some sort of liquid.
Oh, sir!
This really is absolutely priceless and very, very, very rare indeed. We must treat it with the utmost care, Miss Greco.
Oh, sir, it's even rarer now.
Miss Greco, you have shattered history!
Oh, don't worry, sir. I'll clear it up.
You're a very amateur archaeologist!
Sir, I found another one. In fact, sir, there seems to be a whole crate of them.
A whole crate?
Cola. Did Julius Caesar drink cola, sir?
You idiot! Wasting my time like this!
Me wasting your time? Who was it who said it was Roman?
I've no wish to discuss it further. Just get on with your work.
If Sir Humphrey Morton was here, he wouldn't have made that mistake.
I don't like your tone, Miss Greco. The fact is that we don't need Sir Humphrey. I am in charge now, and I can deal with anything that comes up.
Mommy! No, wait for me!
Are you sure this is where the people in charge of the dig are staying? It seems a pretty dodgy place.
Yeah, well, they booked in with a pretty dodgy accommodation agent.
Who?
Me.
Who's that fellow over there who keeps staring at us?
Must have a baby.
Oh, well, it's probably round the back, but I shouldn't expect scented soap.
That's the guy's name. Mustafa Bibi.
Oh.
He's the owner of this gaff.
Are you enjoying your meal?
Sure.
Hey, Mustafa, you got crawly things loose in this place.
Not at all. This place very clean.
Yes, well, it must bumblebee my imagination. Hey, this stuff really is great, huh? What is it?
It's the speciality of the house. Deep-fried earwigs and cockroaches. You want some attending?
No, thank you, no.
Stand still and I shoot it.
Don't shoot!
Not poisonous?
Well, it doesn't look very friendly. Wait! Gotcha!
Brilliant! What job here I could do with cabaret act like you?
No, thank you.
Lumberjackery. For a moment there, I thought I was one dead hombre. You saved my life.
Oh, I hardly think so.
No. According to local custom, that means I am now your son. And from now on, I will call you Daddy.
Hi, Dorothy!
Here?
Mr. Green, what an extraordinary small world. It's you here in Egypt. Oh, gosh.
Why is Em trying to hide under the table?
Oh, well, it's the mummy.
Someone's mummy's chasing him?
No, it's the mummy?
It was awful, hideous, huge, with great red, staring eyes.
Right. That sounds like my mummy.
Oh, come on now, Em. It's perfectly safe here.
Oh, we had a terrible fight, but thanks to my intense combat training, the creature fled.
Actually, Mr. Green, it was pretty awful. It was all bandaged up and big, and it came chasing out at us from inside the tomb.
I see, you mean an Egyptian mummy?
Yeah.
But a moving mummy? I mean, couldn't that have been a trick of the light?
No, that was no trick of the light, I saw it.
And I saw it. You know, there's been some pretty strange things going on around here recently.
Yes, I know. I heard about Sir Humphrey Morton's disappearance. Bit of a blow for the expedition.
But fortunately, there is another chap here at El Ninny with the same excellent qualifications of leadership that are...
Until we find him. Sir said he'd be in charge, didn't you, sir?
I was referring to myself, Miss Greco.
Have you reported Sir Humphrey's disappearance to the authorities?
Not exactly.
Well, we were going to, but Sir said we should just get on with the dig.
Why? It's a very confidential excavation.
We're looking for Cleopatra's treasure!
Look, I think this mummy business should be reported. Is there a British embassy here?
In El Ninny? You got to be joking, Dad.
No British embassy, but there is a rather seedy little office that looks after that sort of thing. It's run by a chap called Dennis Ashington Smythe.
Well, come on, let's go and see him.
I'm not leaving here. That creature is waiting out there for me.
Well, it makes sense if someone who witnessed the mummy makes the report. What about you, Dorothy?
Oh, right.
But what about me? Who's going to protect me from the mummy?
Hey! You looking at him? Tell the folk.
Have something to eat. Calm your nerves.
I don't mind if I do.
I shouldn't overdo the eating if I were you.
It's calming my nerves! I do like these little crunchy ones.
Try the little black ones.
Hello? Mustafa Pipi. No, Mustafa Pipi at the Camel's Breath. I think you ought to know that some busybody is starting to poke his nose into things. I think we should get rid of him now, before it's too late. Goodbye.
Now, this is a pressured hydroponics system. It's for good? Instant germination of different plant species. We did it at school.
Really? At your age, when I was at school, all we ever did was grow cress on a saucer. Anyway, now look, if this works with the wheat that Jack taught me, then I'll try it on the ancient stuff that I found. Right, now we'll set this drip growing.
Listen to that tube, Professor Pratt, a lot.
Why not?
If you set that drip going, then it will feed into the pressure system. And that valve needs to be set the other way, or the whole thing's likely to blow up.
Oh, really? Good Lord. You're right. What a clever girl you are. How absolutely insufferable. Anyway, there. Right, that'll take hours before it gets going, so why don't we have a cup of coffee and a piece of cake?
Is it safe to leave the experiment?
Oh, absolutely, now that the valves have the right setting. Thanks to a certain Miss Noel. Come on, I'm by.
She put the stuff in here. Once we get our hands on it, we'll know what her and that bloke are really up to. I wonder how we get it out.
I wonder what the switch does.
I'm still not sure leaving the experiment alone is a good idea, Professor Pratt.
Look, I've been to scientists for a very much longer time than you have, and I can assure you that that experiment is as safe as houses.
You great kangaroo son!
Dorothy, I'm sort of surprised that M didn't report Sir Humphrey's disappearance straight away.
One moment.
Well, I think you'd rather enjoy being in charge of something.
Come here.
Good day. The name is Smythe. Ashington Smythe.
Jack Green, and this is... What?
Bugs.
You mean this place is bugged?
No bugs! Filthy things! I'll get you next time. You were saying?
And this is Dorothy Greco.
How do you do, Miss Greco? Enchanté.
Lovely.
Please do sit down. Not that one. That chair is booby-trapped.
One press of the button on the desk, and it collapses.
Button collapses.
No.
The desk collapses.
No, the chair collapses.
Why?
You can never be too careful in this business.
The diplomatic and ambassadorial tourist office.
Now then, please.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
Well, the archaeologist leading the dig here at El Ninny, Sir Humphrey Morton, has disappeared.
Do you suspect foul play?
Oh, no. Sir Humphrey never played with chickens.
Nobody seems to know where he's gone.
I see.
Oh, and there's something else, isn't there, Dorothy? Dorothy!
Oh, yes.
Wasn't there something else you meant to say to Mr. Ashington Smythe?
Oh, yes. You're so handsome.
Thank you.
I meant about the mummy.
Oh,
Mummy?
oh, yes. And my mummy would think so, too.
The mummy at the dig.
You've seen it?
Oh, yes. Filthy bandages, the lot.
It's been seen before.
No. But the legend says that when the mummy of the tomb walks, there will be a curse on El Ninny. This is disturbing news. Thank you.
What are you going to do about Sir Humphrey?
That is a secret.
I think we've a right to know.
I said it's a secret!
Mr. Ashington
Ah, it's all right. It's only a flesh wound. Ah! You may go.
Now, look here.
I'll deal with this.
Oh, very well. Come along, Dorothy. Dorothy! I shall be back. There's something about that man.
Oh, isn't that suave, charming, handsome? Oh, Mr. Green, isn't he wonderful?
But that isn't quite the word I'd have used. Dorothy.
Oh, yes,
It seems to me that Sir Humphrey's disappearance centers on the dig.
absolutely.
Right, then that's where I'm going.
Mr. Green, do be careful.
Oh, don't worry about me. I may not be James Bond, but I think I can take care of myself.
It's all right, Imelda. They've gone. Now then, is that man you were telling me about, sis?
That's him, all right. I was humiliated. I sat on a funny cushion.
Don't talk to me about humiliation. Left here to rot. I could have been James Bond.
We have been cast aside, Dennis. But now we will claim our rightful place with the help of the treasure in that tomb.
How do you know there's any treasure in it?
There's always treasure in these tombs, that's how I know.
Yes, but what about the mummy?
The mummy? What, really? I wouldn't believe such nonsense if you hit me on the head.
Got you!